Hello students, let us begin with chapter 13, Why do we fall ill? In this chapter, we will be studying about two words in detail, that is health and disease. These two notions themselves are very complicated. When we ask what causes diseases and how we prevent them, we have to begin by asking what these notions mean. Now, in human beings, cell is the basic unit of life or the building blocks. It is made up of many types of chemicals such as proteins, carbohydrates, fats, etc. And therefore, we can say that cell is a dynamic entity, though it seems static. Now, what is the proof that it is dynamic? It is because the cells, they keep on moving and always something or other is going on in the cells. And those cells which do not move undergoes repair, and also cell division happens or new cells are formed, and in organs and tissues specialized functions go on. So these specialized functions, to function properly, it needs energy, and this energy is obtained from the food. Food is the external source. We need to take in food, and this food is broken down and utilized in our body. And this provides us with energy to do the various activities. Now, food is a necessity for cell and tissues to function properly. Anything that prevents proper functioning of the cells and tissues will lead to a lack of proper activity of the body. Now we are going to study in detail about these two notions, that is health and disease. First of all, what is the significance of health? Let us examine two examples. First of all, the first sentence, my grandmother is not in good health. And the second sentence, if I say that you do not have a healthy attitude. Now, we have used the word health in both the sentences, but does that mean the same? No. Health means different in different situations. In the first case, health means physical disturbance in the body. That means physically the grandmother is not fit. In the second case, it is the case of the attitude or the disinterest towards sitting in the class or towards a subject. Again, we can relate it to mental. So, then what is health? Health, therefore, is a state of being well enough to function physically, mentally, and socially. So, health is not just the physical aspect. A person is said to be healthy if he or she is physically, mentally, and socially fit. Now, the next aspect which we have to understand is, what is the relationship between an individual's health and that of the community? Now, an individual himself is not responsible for his or her health. The community also plays a role in his or her health. A person's health can be at risk if there is a natural disaster, such as a cyclone. A person's health is at risk in such a situation. That means the physical surroundings play a role in the state of health of that person. Not only this, we know that human beings, they live in societies. Therefore, the social environment in which we live also plays a role in an individual's health. Suppose we live in an area where garbage has not been collected for many days. Imagine the situation in that place, the filth, the smell, and the contamination. Therefore, we can say that public cleanliness also has a role to play in an individual's health. Now, food is necessary for good health. Now, how can we obtain this food? Food has to be earned. And to earn food or to get food, we need good jobs. So, the economic condition should be good, or a person should have economic stability. So, economic stability in turn matters in the health of an individual. Now, in a society, imagine a society in which we mistreat each other and we are afraid of each other. In such a society, there is no social equality or harmony. Then the people living in that society will not have any peace of mind. Peace of mind, social equality and harmony is necessary for the well-being of a person. Therefore, we can rightly say that such examples are to show the connections between community issues and an individual's health. Therefore, we can very well say that an individual himself or herself cannot be responsible for his health solely. The society in which or the community in which he or she lives also has a role to play in his or her health. Now let us understand what are the differences between health and disease. Health, as I already told you, is the state of being well enough to function physically, mentally and socially. Then what is disease? If we concentrate on the word disease, that means disturbed ease. There is some problem in our body where we feel, because of which we feel uncomfortable. Now, let us understand one step further. A person can be in poor health even if he or she is not actually suffering from a particular disease. Simply not being diseased is not the same as being healthy. And health is different for different people. Good health for a dancer is to be able to move his or her body into various positions, while good health for a flutist is the capacity of his or her lungs. Therefore, we have to say that to have opportunities to realize the unique potential in all of us, it is also necessary for real health. For real, that means, what does that statement mean? To attain real health, we should all have the opportunity to realize the unique potential in ourselves. Then only when we realize the unique potentials in ourselves, we will have the real health. So, we can be in poor health. There being simple cause in the form of an identifiable disease. This is the reason why when we think about health, we think about societies and communities. On the other hand, when we think about disease, we think about individual sufferers. Thus, we have seen the differences between health and disease. Now let us see the next topic. How does disease look like? Now what does this disease look like? We have to understand this concept. Now when there is a disease, either the functioning of the body will change or the appearance of one or more systems in the body changes. These changes give rise to symptoms and signs. These symptoms of disease are things which we feel as being wrong. So if we have a headache, this is a symptom for many types of diseases, but we cannot pinpoint on which disease. Headache can be due to an examination stress, or it can be due to a fatal sickness like brain fever. It is just a symptom. These symptoms indicate that there may be a disease, but they do not indicate what the disease is. Signs of diseases are what physicians will look for on the basis of symptoms. Signs will give a little more definite indication of the presence of a particular disease. Physicians will also get laboratory tests done to pinpoint the disease further. Now, let us understand what is the difference between an acute disease and a chronic disease. An acute disease is a type of disease which lasts only for a short duration of time. But a chronic disease lasts for a lifetime. Example for a acute disease is common cold, which does not last more than 8 to 10 days. While a chronic disease is one which lasts a lifetime. For example, in the case of elephantiasis. Now let us understand the differences between chronic and acute disease with respect to poor health. If a person is suffering from an acute disease, first of all, as I told you in the beginning, the duration of the disease will be for a short period of time. Since the duration is only for a short period of time, its effect on the body is not so grave. The body will not be affected that much. Of course, it will be affected, but its effect on the body is not that much. It will not affect the person, or the person will not be bedridden, and it will not cause a poor health condition for a long time. But if a person is affected by a chronic disease, it will gravely affect the body, the health of the person, and since it lasts a lifetime, it causes weakness in the person, the person may be bedridden. As in the case of students, it affects the learning ability of the children. The capacity of learning capacity decreases. The person remains in poor health for a long period of time, may be bedridden for a long period of time. So it has got drastic effects or long-lasting effects on the health and makes the person very weak. That is the case of chronic disease. But acute diseases, they last only for a short period of time and do not cause much damage to the body. Now let us see what are the causes of diseases. This can be explained with the help of example of a baby. A baby was found suffering with loose motion. This baby might have suffered loose motion due to the pathogen virus. So, the virus is the immediate cause. I repeat, virus is the immediate cause for the disease, loose motion. Now, the next question that can be asked is, how did this baby get the viral attack? It was because of unclean drinking water. Now, why did that particular baby get the loose motion when there were many babies in that area who drank this unclean water, but only this particular baby was suffering from loose motion? It might be because the baby is in poor health. And then the question is, why is the baby in poor health? Because it is not getting proper nourishment. So not getting proper nourishment is the second level cause. The next question we can ask is, why does the baby not get proper nourishment? Because it is from a poor household. Now, not getting nourishment, or it can be caused due to some genetic disorder. The loose motion also can be due to genetic disorder. Not only because of poor nourishment, it can be also due to genetic disorder. So, poor nourishment and genetic disorders are both contributory causes. Now, why the baby had to drink this unclean water? Because most probably the baby was living in an area where public health services are not good. That area, because they are belonging to a poor household, and in that area the public health services or public cleanliness or water supply is not done properly. So this can be a third level cause. That means poverty and lack of public services can be a third level cause. Therefore, what we have to understand is, a disease is caused not only due to the immediate cause, but also due to contributory causes. Of course, there will be an immediate cause, but along with the immediate cause, there are also contributory causes. The next topic we need to understand is, what is the difference between infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases? Now, infectious diseases are caused due to pathogens, that is, disease-causing microorganisms. Now, what are these disease-causing microorganisms? They are viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoans, and worms. These infectious diseases can spread from one person to another. Therefore, they are also known as communicable diseases. There are various examples for this. For example, the present corona, Nipah, chickenpox, common cold, all these are examples of communicable diseases. Then what are non-infectious diseases? Non-infectious diseases are those diseases which do not spread from one person to another. And it is not caused due to infectious agents, but due to the malfunctioning of an organ. What do you mean by malfunctioning? Malfunctioning means disorder in an organ or damage in an organ. Or it can also be caused due to the deficiency of vitamins, minerals, etc. Since they do not spread from one person to another, they are also known as non-communicable diseases. So, we have understood the difference between communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. Now, the way in which diseases spread and the way in which they are treated and prevented in community level is different for different diseases. This would depend a lot on whether the immediate cause are infectious or non-infectious. With that, we have come to the end of today's session. Thank you.